सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, महायोगी स्वामी Umanand Saraswati ki jai. Yesterday we talked about darshan. Can we see God? There's one more interesting thing. I also told you that yes, gods can speak to us. Is it just a normal speech that they come to give? No, remember, this is a very special interaction. If you get a chance to meet the Prime Minister or the President of the country, whatever interaction has to take place, it has to be short and sweet and something very useful. I remember I had the opportunity of presenting my works, Jnaneshwari, once again to President Abdul Kalam ji in Delhi. And I was told that you have to give and you have to be quick about it. So the moment the name was announced that Swami Radhikanand ji presents her works to Abdul Kalam ji, I rushed in Vignan Hall, it is in Delhi, and I came running down the stairs with 5 copies in my hands. And Abdul Kalam ji had a very sweet reaction. He just went behind and said, "All these, so many?" And yes, I have great regards for Abdul Kalam ji, and I offered the books. So it's a very special and important moment. If you have to see gods, it has to be something for a good cause, for something good has to be gained from it. Yeah, so normally a very good know-how is passed on to you, or some of the greatest secrets in the world are revealed to you, or a greatest boon is given to you, or a greatest siddhi is passed on to you. So I had the opportunity of interacting personally with my Gurudev. So I would like to state it here so that the seekers on this path and they get a clue of how far can our prayers manifest, or how far can we interact with gods. So it was one of the moments, morning meditation at 3 o'clock. I was sitting with my eyes closed. And prior to that, I was trying to deal with the answers of Brahma and Maya. I needed to explain what is Brahma and what is Maya. So, in my own understandings, I was arguing with God. I was just wondering, I said, if I intend to copy whatever the scholars have stated earlier, then it will be just copying from one book to the other. And I may not be able to, and if I don't understand it, then just passing it from the bookwork might not give me a correct understanding or a correct interpretation. And I may not do justice to the curiosities of the people, nor will I be able to do justice to myself about its understanding. So I probably slept with that thought that I need to know personally about what is Brahma and Maya. So I sat for meditation, and I have my Guru's idol installed in my ashram, and I was just sitting, say, about 8-10 feet away from it, when my eyes were partially open. Ardhon milit dole. Ardhon milit dole is you have your eyes are open with a slight slit. You can see just a lower little part of the eyes you can see, and it's a very thin, very small slit you keep open, and of course you are in your meditational mood. And at that time, this question had probably uh, found itself into my brain again, and I was probably contemplating. And then suddenly I felt that there was some sort of an action in the idol next to me, and there was a continuous rotation of like silver leaves. They were going round and round behind my guru. Actually, they were not there. They are not there, but it was like a fan here which was going round and round, and the speed got increased. The speed was very without. I mean, there were no such designed plates or anything. It's just a plain idol, but then it appeared as if there was some sort of a. Let me just say it could be like a moon rotating fast or a sun rotating fast, and the speed was tremendous. So with my eyes closed, my mind was directed. My eyes were still in the same state of Ardon Milit, and my attention got focused. Mental attention got focused, and within say let's say a short span of a few seconds, um, my guru had manifested physically right next to me. Yeah. Now, she was made of the color. Can you see the color of the wall behind me? Yes, this was the color. That's why today I have changed the little shading here so that you could get the idea. And it was like Bhasmankit Roop. Bhasma is those ashes, you have holy ashes. And the entire form was of some this color. She was robed in something wearing the same color, and her face and all of it was with this color and of this color, except that her eyes were black like a bumblebee, and actually in reality they are more light, but there definitely the eyes were very prominent, and she was more frail than I remember having seen her um, last. And she stood near me, and I was not looking at her. I was looking in front direction with my eyes like slit, and she was somewhere here near me, and she too was looking, and probably we were meeting at a third point. The eyes were meeting at a third point, and I could still see her. I am saying this so that if at all any scientists are listening, they may want to explain to us how does the light travel or the interaction happens. Let's see, whatever. And then she asked me, she says, "Who are you?" Um and I was like, how come she doesn't know me? I mean, I was surprised how she doesn't know me. So I happened to say, well, I'm Radhika. So again she said, "Who are you?" So I said, "Gurudev, I'm Radhika." So she said, "Yes, what are you doing?" So I said, "Dhyan." I just said, and again she asked me, "And who are you?" So I said, "I'm Radhika." Then I was wondering, why is she asking me? I mean, I assumed she would be knowing me. But of course, the question had a meaning. And then she suddenly said that I, you're referring to, is Brahma, and Radhika is Maya. It's the name of your form. And of course, she vanished. Now, friends, this Brahma and Maya is absolutely clear here. The pronoun which we hold on to when we speak about ourselves, which is shared by all the humanity, when they talk about themselves, the word I, it is the Brahma element in us. And Radhika is absolutely the name of the form of this five Panch Mahabhut, the five elements with which I made. So we all have this, the Brahma element in us. This was a moment of realization. And after that, at about 7 o'clock, I almost called up one or two scientists I knew, and I shared it. Then I shared it with a couple of people. But almost I was glued to this statement of I am Brahma, and that I is actually the pronoun element in us. And believe it, it's not just a word. It's a storehouse of an entire history or the knowledge package which I have in me. It's made of that. So it's made of Sat, existence. If I say, I want water, will you question me who I am? But if I say Radhikanand wants water, some of you may say, who's Radhikanand? Here's water for her. So that I doesn't need further any other word to support it. It's a complete introduction to existence of self. So I has Sat, that is existence, Chit, that is knowledge, awareness. It's not only knowledge about one's own self, but it is a complete package of all that knowledge I have, probably for last 70 years, that is gathered in me. And Ananda, when one speaks about oneself, one always speaks very good about oneself. My guru used to say, if you want to hear good about anybody, you let the person talk about himself or herself. And if you want to hear something bad, you let them talk about their neighbors. So the eye is a very beautiful subject, and because it's Brahma. Now, this was one revelation I got. Then second, there was about Kundalini. I was supposed to deliver a few talks in Bangalore and about Kundalini Yoga. At that time, again in my morning prayers, I had said, if I don't know you, Mani, Kundalini, actually, if I don't know you, how am I going to talk about you? I mean, I won't do justice to you. And then before we started discourse, the talk, we normally take a dhun, and the dhun was Om Namah Shivaya. So I was taking the dhun like Om Namah Shivaya. So this continues for half an hour, and the entire hall gets filled with silence, and a very beautiful atmosphere gets created. So I was leading this session of bhajan also, and at that time my eyes were closed and it was pretty dark, and suddenly I saw next to me there was a sofa I had kept with pictures of Bhagwan Nityananda, Muktanand Baba, and my revered Gurudev. And then I saw Bhagwan Nityananda, who came and sat on that, and it was a proper vision, and so much so that I offered my salutations even with my eyes closed. It was so real. And after that I saw a frail yogi who came and sat right in front of my harmonium. And he was very thin. He had his all his hair locks loose, and he was bare on top. So he was pointing out to something as a line on his chest, right, running from his not throat actually, from say somewhere here down up to almost the navel belly button, and he was pointing out. His ribs could be seen. And they were actually, he was a very bony person, and a bony yogi, physical frame, and his ribs were being seen, and he was pointing out towards his ribs, and between the two ribs, like the ribs were say like this, the center line, it was lustrously shining. So automatically it took my attention, and I was looking at it, and it was all when I, with my eyes closed, my dhun was going on, Om Namah Shivaya was going on. And at that time I saw, and it was absolutely gold. It was a golden color, about this thick, something which was running right from his, in between the ribs, right up to his belly bottom. And he says, she's Ma Kundalini, she's Ma Kundalini. And then, of course, the vision vanished. So, in visions, gods do reveal some spiritual secrets, and all these interactions which happen, they have their own, they are actually graced moments. They are the moments when one more I shall tell about one experience. I had picked up a beautiful saffron sari for my guru. I wanted to offer something to her, and I had picked one up, and I had gone to the ashram at Andheri, and yeah, I was sitting for my morning meditation, and the parcel was right next to me. And just then I had the vision of my Param Guru, Muktanand Baba, walking towards me. And he stood in front of me. So the person is very excited, gets excited when a guru comes. And it's a very beautiful feeling. And in a panic-stricken moment, I just offered what I had brought for my guru. I offered it to my Baba, her guru. And he just draped it around himself. And the vision vanished. And after, when I opened my eyes, of course the parcel was still near me. And when meditation session was over, I went and I was offering my salutations to my guru. At that time, again, as usual, I offered the gift. So she said, "You've already given it to somebody. How can you give it again to me?" And and of course, my eyes got full of tears. I was sort of slightly ashamed, or I don't know, it was a mixed feeling. And her presence used to make me pretty nervous. And my eyes got filled. So she said, "Come on." And then she took it very gracefully. She said, "Okay, take." And then she put a flower. She used to offer a flower on anything we offered. And she accepted the gift. Now, these are the interactions. One more interaction I shall talk about Guru in paraform. Before I went back to my Guru after 10 years, I was not aware of her existence. I didn't know where my Guru's ashram was. And due to some situations in my life, I was desperately again on the lookout for my Guru. And at that time, I was reading, I think, Bhagavad. And it was yeah, during one of the morning sessions of my reading. I dozed off. I had told you yesterday, we talked about darshan. I had told you these are the moments when you are likely to see your gurus. And then I suddenly saw Muktanand Baba, but he was in almost in the air with his sitting position, and he just floated towards me, and he just indicated, make a phone call, make a phone call. I mean, and he went close to the phone, a telephone where the telephone was left, his paraform it was, and he vanished. And after that, I probably traced the number, and I got the number, and I talked, and for the first time after 10 years, uh, I heard a very sweet and familiar hello. Of course, that was my Umanand. And, uh, and then my journey towards her started. Uh, these are a few of the revelations I would like to talk about. There will be umpteen more, but some of them will give you an idea that gods can guide you, uh, gurus can guide you, gurus can enlighten you. Well, this is Swami Radhikananda from Pune.